I'm the man, yes sir, to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. We still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from hunger pain.
Here we go. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of, that's right, thumbnails. We're getting into anime, animation, all that good stuff. Terra Firma, we got a good episode, y'all. Oh, yes, sir. So before we get started, shout out to Malcolm Lee that came up in the chat super duper early. Shout out to anyone else who's early up in the chat. I know we got some lurkers and all that good stuff going on. And if you're here on the replay, much love to y'all. Make sure to hit the like, hit the dislike, then hit the like again. Go in and subscribe, share this to your friends, you know what I'm saying? Go in and text it out to your folks. You know what I'm saying? This is like the sharing version of a pyramid scheme, all right? Go in and open your phone. Get all your contacts. Nah, this is fine. Good to see your sunshiny face. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're ready to talk about some Star Trek. So, I want to start with Gwen because I thought that when she, I thought when she learned that her father was no good, that I would feel like happy about it, like ha ha in your face. You know what? I kind of felt bad for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she had to learn the lesson. And to a certain degree, I mean, because y'all remember in the first episode, I was like, yeah, but they're helping him keep little mining slaves or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't all that. Like, I want you to get your one up. But, I mean, you'll come up. But, I don't know, man. I kind of felt bad when she was, like, reaching out to her father. And he was like, but the ship, though. Like, I mean, you know, she's where she needs to be. We know that she's gonna kind of be with the crew and be part of them and all that. You know, it's gonna work out, but you know, it kind of hurt me a little bit. I was just like, ah, dang, you know what I'm saying? Because homegirl was straight up about to get her life taken away. She was about to die, and her daddy was like, no, I shan't be helping today. So, hey man, look, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? What can you do? What can you do when even your daddy don't even call you his daughter? He just be like, you my progeny. And then his henchmen be walking around looking like he'd kill you at the drop of a hat if he had to. Like, so I mean, I guess I feel kind of bad for Gwen. But I do like how they came together at the end of this. So we'll talk about that too a little bit later. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, how you feeling about this episode. I know Malcolm Lee, I know you digging it. I know you feeling this episode. I just forgot. Sorry, real quick. Shout out to everybody who came here early. I'm sorry this show is late. We actually started at noon. But I was at a screening for Ghostbusters, so this is an hour late. So I apologize for all y'all, because I know y'all be here at noon. My bad. Past that. So I felt bad for her. But you know who I also kind of feel bad for too? You know, they shared their little moment. Dow. You know, like not knowing his parents and not even knowing what species he is. Like, dude is on some Wolverine stuff where he don't know nothing. Like, all he knows is his own self. All right. And that age, and I don't know, did they tell us how old Dal is? You know, I'm assuming they're 16? Something like that. Like at that age, you know, kind of knowing where you come from or having some kind of sense of identity is so important and tantamount to kind of what you'll grow into or even having kind of a roadmap into what you might be or what you might want to be, you know, or what, you know, kind of like family lineage or familiar curses you might have, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of being out there like a turd in the wind. That was just being out there, kind of like a leaf just blowing in the wind, wherever it takes him. I know that's got to get to him every now and then, and you know, I feel for him too in that sense. Now, since we're still on this planet, you know, we start off. Gwenny's like, "Yo, why'd you do that? You marooned us. We screwed." But we got another person out here in the MVP for this episode. Janeway. I know she hologram Janeway, but she's still Janeway. All right. Janeway came through. She was keeping the electrical systems going and the shields and the vines was coming up and she was using the cleaners or the scrubbers to get them off and everything. Like homegirl was looking through, try to get subsystems to help with the power over here. She did a thing. I respect. I like to see her doing, like, you know, she's not a useless hologram. Like, Janeway is a mad important hologram. Not even for just educational, inspirational purposes for the crew, but also, like, if they leave the ship, like, she can kind of hold it down on her own. And we learn a lot about the ship in this episode, which I think is cool, is that Protostar is actually named because its engine is powered, or its power source, or its car battery basically is a star. Like, imagine harnessing the power of a star. So like, imagine harnessing the power of the sun, like the whole sun. Like, if you could take all the energy in the sun and like put it into like a boat or something, like, or a ship or a boat or a car or whatever, or a cool airplane, like that thing would run for essentially ever, I guess. I mean, how long does it take for a star to die out? Like, I don't know, billions of years or something like that? Like trust me, you'll be gone. You'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Free gas. You ain't never got to pay no more. It's like even better than having an electric car. But anyway, point is, the amount of power that thing can emit, especially when they're making the runaway, they're getting away. Dreadnought. I know it's Dreadnought, but it's so much easier to say Dreadnought. So if I'm saying Dreadnought, I know it's with a K, but it's just easier for me to say it. So I might interchange it or whatever, but apologies, because I know some people are like, it's a K, but you know, apologies. When they turned on that protostar power, when the I don't know, the back, the tails, or whatever. I don't know the Star Trek ship part names. I don't know. When the back wheels, when the fender opened up and the back wheels spread out and the wing came on and it was like, yo, I was like, yo, they joined the sweet. They left them in the dust. I was like, yo, this ship is sweet. I'm glad that we are getting, what would the term be? I'm glad that we're getting more innovation each time we come around ships. And tomorrow we'll be talking about Star Trek Discovery. I'll talk about it a little bit at the end of this episode. But seeing their new ship as well, just seeing like the cool stuff that they're doing around the I guess the traditional Federation design is something that I really enjoy. And having this crew together, man, shows that they're becoming, what Dom would term a family. You know what I'm saying? So I like that when they're like in the kind of beginning throes of this episode, when they're kind of like walking around, trying to figure out what to do, how to get back and all that stuff. Zero's like, oh, well, no, Dow's like, this is a planet or whatever. I hate this planet or whatever. And Zero is like, well, actually, it's not a planet. It's a living being. And then like, oh, this is a living being. Maybe I should just ask him what his name is. And then Zero's like, oh, no, it just wants to kill us. Oh, man. And Geeky Andre comes through and says, I'm liking the Protostar even more. Yeah, the Protostar comes through. I mean, it's no brothership, but the Protostar, it comes through. I like the Brotherstar. I mean, the Protostar. But the brothership is my favorite all time. And the way they kind of rallied together while being attacked by the vines, I like how this show kind of did a quick job of team building, I guess you could say. Like team building / run for the hills. Because, the vines are coming at them. And Gwen's like, oh, word, I'll just use fire. But Gwen, when you set fire, it just don't go on one thing. See, fire, it goes to other things too. It just don't burn what you wanted to burn. It's gonna burn that, and then it's gonna try to burn something else. So at first they were like, yeah. They're like, yeah. Then they were like, no. So that was fun. And just them walking together, the growth between Dow being like, leave her, she on her own, I don't care, to the point where they're actually sitting down and they figure out how to kind of like plot their way by looking at the stars. I think it's something that's really, really cool in being fast in the team building sector without seeming rushed. Like, they definitely did it quick. This episode is only, I don't know, like 24 minutes or something like that. So they definitely, they were fast without rushing. And that's something that I kind of enjoyed in this, because I was like, okay, we're moving along and we're walking and talking, which is something that I like in shows. In general, I don't want to stop and learn information. I want the team to walk and talk, because in real life, you'd be like, all right, we got to learn something. We got to go too. Like, we can't just be sitting around waiting for something to happen. And then also seeing what she had done in her anger kind of come back to bite her a little bit. Like seeing Dreadnought show up and him being like, thanks for leading us here and everything. And he was like, what? That was like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Murph was sitting there like, hey, I don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. And then even Rock was kind of, you can see Rock was kind of let down. And by that time, you could see that Gwen had changed her mind on how she felt about the team. Even she was like, yo, you don't have to hurt him. We can just take the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take the ship and you ain't got to hurt him. But of course, Dreadnought didn't hear that. Nah, bruh. Dreadnought like, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. So she had to kind of choose sides quick. A wartime decision. And then what helped solidify that decision, of course, was the moment with her father and him being like, we gone. You gone? Mm-hmm. Give me a kiss. And you get, and all right, peace out. Done? Nah, I'm not done. We gonna be done in a little bit. I ain't gonna keep y'all forever. I know it's Saturday. So her kind of being left essentially for dead was a moment that I was like, oh snap, like we know she's gonna be saved, but I didn't know how she would be saved. Because she did have the mental sword. I'm gonna just call it the mind sword for now. I know it's probably got a cool name that I just missed in the episode. Feel free to drop it in the chat if you know it, but the the kind of liquid T2 metal that she controlled with her mind, which is dope. You know, I was thinking maybe she'll use that to, I don't know, make a barrier or something. I don't know. I was like, I know she's not gonna die. She's one of the stars of the cast, but I didn't know how she would get out of it. And the team decided to come back for her. It's something that I enjoyed. And then also to solidify that is the moment when Janeway said, we have the whole crew back. And that's interesting because to a certain degree, it seems like Janeway, even though Gwen was in jail, Janeway saw the situation like, oh, you won't be in jail forever, and you part of the crew. Y'all just need to work y'all situation out. You know what I'm saying? So, did I enjoy this episode? Yes, I'm enjoying the show, man. It's a fun show to watch, just like Lower Decks. I mean, of course, in a different way, but this is great, man. The little guy is loving it. You know, NERDSoul Light loves it. I love it too, man. I think it's a fun watch. It's just light enough to kind of enjoy yourself and enjoy the path and journey they're going on through their younger eyes. So what's next? We have no idea, but I am glad to see that there's some kind of like, there's some camaraderie now. We've kind of met a threshold of like hate and, you know, dissension in the ranks. So now they can start to kind of like move forward from this. I know there's going to be a lot that Gwen is going to have to deal with as far as maybe her security or maybe even insecurity about her father, where she come from, what's been done. But I think this is going to serve to be like a great stepping stone for them to actually get into being more careful when they go to planets, being a better team, actually communicating, and we're going to get some cool missions out of this. I think we're going to get some fun missions. With that said, I will give you a quick preview. I'll talk about, I told you we were going to talk about Prodigy and Discovery. So, of course, Discovery is back, and I will be on Sunday, NERDSoul Sundays. We will be back with Hannibal Taboo and Solar Grey tomorrow. We'll be talking about Star Trek Discovery. So to keep it short and sweet, without getting away everything, because tomorrow we have the show. I'm glad it's back. I had a lot of fun watching it. Book and Burnham are great together. I love seeing the family of the Discovery. Yeah, definitely. This was definitely a good episode, Geeky Andre. I think this show, low key, is one of the better genre shows every year since it came out. And there is so much to explore with this new mystery we have going on. So am I still in there? Yes, I'm excited and I cannot wait. We're going to break it down for y'all tomorrow. And if you love Star Trek Discovery like I do, make sure to stop through here tomorrow at noon PST. So with that said, of course, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places, hit that thumbs up. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs down. If you don't, if you want to be part of the mailing list, go in and DM me your email address. I'll add you to the mailing list. We do giveaway. We got some giveaways coming up, and all that good stuff, and you know, fun things, and you know, just interaction that's just generally cool. Also, share this to your folks. Don't hide that light under a bushel. You know what I'm saying? Let that NERDSoul shine. So we got podcasts for you. We got NERDSoul Shorts on YouTube as well. We got Spotify for music. We got a whole bunch of dope things coming. So with that said, P.L. Parker Lewis is next. Arcatron after that. And until tomorrow, no, excuse me. Until tonight, we got Divorce Court tonight. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, you know, I gotta put on my, you know, my lawyer hat. You know what I'm saying? Get my litigation on. You know what I'm saying? Because I be judging in these streets. Then we might do something special around Ghostbusters Afterlife and get our spoiler on. If you've seen the movie, you know, I ain't trying to spoil it for you if you haven't, but if you haven't seen the movie and you don't mind being spoiled, come through too. That'll be either today or tomorrow at a special time, but I'll send a special email for that to everyone as well. So, of course, until next time, which will be tonight, or maybe a special time for Ghostbusters. For me to you, I'm saying thank you for watching. Thank you for coming through. I love your sunshiny face, and peace. And I'm going to hit you with that P.L. Parker Lewis.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from under.